Excellency Dr. Riek Machar is in the house. His Excellency James Wani Iga is in the house. His Excellency Taban Dengai is in the house. His Grace Bishop Mayo is in the house. Sheikh Juma Said is in the house, and all the religious leaders, the parliamentarians from the Council of State, the National Legislative Assembly, the Speaker, the national ministers, advisors, presidential advisors led by Honorable Kwal Manyang Juk, the senior presidential advisor, is also in the house.
الآن افتتح إذن المشاهدون الكرام، السلام عليكم، نحييكم مرة ثانية من جسر الحرية، حيث افتتح الآن رئيس الجمهورية رسميا جسر الحرية وبمعيته ممثل شركة الوكالة اليابانية للتنمية الدولية جايكا. الآن رئيس الجمهورية تجول أمام الجسر بعد أن افتتح الجسر رسميا اليوم. إذن المشاهدون الكرام، نحن نازلنا نأتيكم على الهواء مباشرة لنقل فعاليات افتتاح جسر الحرية الذي تم تشييده من الوكالة اليابانية للتنمية الدولية جايكا. إذن المشاهدون الكرام، اليوم يوم تاريخي لشعب جنوب السودان ومواطني ولاية الاستوائية الوسطى وسكان مدينة جوبا، حيث افتتح رئيس الجمهورية هذا الجسر الذي يعد أولى الجسور في تاريخ جنوب السودان السياسي والاجتماعي والاقتصادي. وقد تم تشييد هذا الجسر بدعم من الوكالة اليابانية للتنمية الدولية جايكا وبإشراف مباشر من وزارة الطرق والجسور. وسيلعب هذا الجسر أدوارا اقتصادية في شتى مجالات الحياة، لأنه يمثل ثاني جسر على نهر النيل، وسيربط أجزاء واسعة من البلاد، بداية جنوب البلاد مع دولتي أوغندا وكينيا عبر شرق الاستوائية، وسيربط الاستوائية الوسطى وغرب الاستوائية وإقليم بحر غزال وعلى النيل من ولاية الوحدة. ولذلك مشاهدي الكرام، نحن ما زلنا نأتيكم في هذا النقل الحي والمباشر من جسر الحرية. ندعوكم لمتابعة ما تبقى من فقرات هذا اليوم التاريخي.
President, and the president is now heading to the podium so that the program starts immediately. You can see many people are waiting to hear a word of the president, and now the president is heading to the podium for the national anthem, and then after that it will be after that, the program will start officially. Now the bridge has been officially opened by the President of the Republic, and with all the dignitaries who are with him. They have already opened the bridge officially. Those who opened the bridge or cut the ribbon, actually, the people, the President of the Republic and High Representative for Infrastructure Development and in Africa and former Prime Minister of Kenya.
Can we arrange for the arrival of His
Vice
Excellency
President and Chairperson
of the Republic of South Sudan?
Infrastructure Cluster, Honorable Taban Dengai, and His Excellency Ambassador of Japan to South Sudan. Now he's heading to Now we are going to hear national anthem. That was the national anthem sung after the arrival of the president, and now we are going to hear official speeches from the people of different dignitaries.
South Sudan waye.
Now,
South Sudan waye. South Sudan waye.
after the national anthem, now we are going to sit and we are going to start by opening prayer from the religious leaders, both Christian and Muslim.
نعم السادة والسيدات، كما تابعتم أن فخامة رئيس الجمهورية قد وصل بالفعل وعمل على قطع الهبال أو تسلم كبر الحرية، والآن نحن هنا من أجل البركة الإلهية والذي سيقدمها نيافة المطران دكتور مارتن أميو، وبعد قليل إن شاء الله بعد الصلاة ستكون المناسبة رسمية، والكل سيعلم أن جنوب السودان الآن يمتلك من أحد يعني أفخم وأقوى المنشآت البنية التحتية، وهي كبر الحرية، الذي سيعمل على تقديم الدعم أو سيكون الأساسي بعد كبر جوبا.
Konijel will be the main master of ceremony, and myself, Mariala Walk Till, as the co-MC. We also have another co-MC, Engineer Alam. So 3 of us will be taking lead on today's program. So without further ado, I would like to ask His Grace Stephen Amayo Martin to come and open the program with a word of prayer. His Grace.
Almighty God, the Father, this morning as we wake up, we look at the mirror and we saw that image made in your image and likeness. We thank you for all of us who live in this new country. We ask you to bless our team leader, President Salva Kiir, and his members as we endeavor on developing this country. You have given us our friends who sustain us, who help us to build this new country. May you bless the government of Japan for this gift of freedom of speech bridge for the Republic of South Sudan. God our Father, we still thank you because you have given us peace and you have led us to live like brothers and sisters. We ask you this day to confirm us as we belong to you, our Father. And as we bless this bridge, may you help all, sustain all those who will use this bridge. May use it to praise you, but to bless also your name. So God, you are never far off. With fatherly protection, you always guard those who trust in you. May you give us graces so that it may guide us in our ways. As we bless this bridge, may you also help us to endeavor to sustain this bridge as a gift from you above all, but also to help us as we continue to build this country. May you safely give all those who use this bridge to reach their destination in peace. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. May the blessing of Almighty God rest upon you always, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you, His Grace, for the wonderful prayers. Here now, I would like to call Sheikh Juma Said Ali to come and let us have a word of prayer in Quran.
نرحب بكم مشاهدي الكرام ونجدد اللقاء بكم في هذا النقل الحي أمام جسر الحرية الذي تم افتتاحه رسميا من فخامة رئيس الجمهورية سلفا كير مياديد. وكان المطران الكنيسة الكاثوليكية دكتور ستيفن أميو قد افتتح البرامج رسميا بصلاة وآيات من الإنجيل. والآن
وبداكهم بيعمل العمل الكويس. ربنا وعدهم بالجنة. الجنة اللي اسمه فردوس، ده أحسن جنة من جنان الموجود فوق. فالناس المؤمنين اللي بيعمل العمل الكويس ربنا وعدهم بهذه الجنة. فأنا بفتكر يا سعادة الرئيس،
which you have made under your leadership. And we will pray that let God bless you and let God bless South Sudan
and the people of South Sudan. Thank you very much. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان
الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات
كانت لهم جنات الفردوس نزلا خالدين فيها لا يبغون عنها حولا صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you, Comrade Sheikh Juma Said, for your wonderful prayer in Islamic faith. Without further ado, now I would like to invite the Undersecretary in the Ministry of Roads and Bridges to come and have an overbridge on the backgrounds on the bridge of Freedom Bridge. Honorable Undersecretary Peter Jail or Peter Konjel.
إذا المشاهدون الكرام، الشيخ جمعة سيد علي قد تلا علينا آيات بينات من ذكر الله الحكيم.
Your Excellency Dr. Yak Machate, First Vice President of the Republic of Sudan, Government Cluster. Your Excellency James Wani Iga, Vice President of Republic of South Sudan, Economic Cluster. Your Excellency Taban Dengai, Vice President of Republic of South Sudan, Infrastructure Cluster. Right Honorable Juma Nunu Kumba, Speaker of National Transition Legislative Assembly, Archigono. Right Honorable Raila Amolo Oginga, African Union Head of Infrastructure and former Prime Minister of Kenya. Your Excellency Tsutsimi Naruhiro, Ambassador of Japan to South Sudan. Excellency Tanaka Akihiko, President of Japan International Cooperation Agency. Honorable Emmanuel Adil Anthony, Governor of Central Equatoria. All the protocols are observed. Ladies and gentlemen, today, May 19, 2022, is a special day to the people of the Republic of South Sudan. It's a great day in the history of infrastructure development in South Sudan. We are witnessing the handing over ceremony of the Freedom Bridge. This bridge is 560 meters long, making it one of the longest bridge infrastructure in South Sudan. This important and critical infrastructure has come to relieve the burden which our people face when traveling across the Nile. The usual long queues on both sides of the existing Nile bridge, which has been a menace to travelers throughout the year, will come to an end with the opening of this Freedom Bridge. The completion of handing over of the Freedom Bridge has come at a time when the existing Juba Bridge has experienced a lot of deterioration, and its existence has been through many maintenance cycles done to preserve its structural integrity. Today, we receive this bridge, all the heavy load trucks bringing goods from East Africa and any other part of South Sudan that lies in the east of River Nile will pass through this bridge. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to give you a brief chronology of how the Freedom Bridge started. The initial planning for the construction of Freedom Bridge started in 2011 by the CTI International Engineering Consultant, a Japanese engineering firm that is specialized in design of bridges. In 2012, a resettlement action plan for the project affected persons who fall in the right-of-way was prepared and the affected persons were compensated. The government of Central Equatorial State gave the land for the relocation of the person to Amadi, which is situated on Ye Road. The government of South Sudan spent $2 million United States to compensate all the property found on the right-of-way, being houses, fence, latrine, including the location of graves. The actual construction work started in 2015 after it was interrupted by the political upheaval of 2013. The project construction period was estimated to be 4 years, but due to occurrence of 3 force majeure, the incidences in 2016 COVID-19 pandemic delayed the project by 5 years. As we celebrate the handing over the Freedom Bridge to the people of Republic of South Sudan, I want to pay special tribute to the people who lost their lives during the construction of the bridge. 3 lost their lives through the construction of this bridge, who were 5 in numbers. 2 of the workers fell into the river during the construction of the temporary bridge and got drowned. The other 3 died on duty due to sicknesses. Finally, I want to clarify the misinformation on the social media where some people say the bridge is a single lane. That is not right. The bridge is 2 lanes with an extra lane for pedestrian and even cyclists, with a width of 7 meters and other extra 2.5 meters for the pedestrian. I therefore call for the public to use the bridge responsibly. The guests of honor, allow me to thank the people of Japan who tirelessly extended financial assistance grant through the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, to the Republic of South Sudan for the construction of the Freedom Bridge. This is not the first time the people of Japan have given grant aid to the people of South Sudan. In 2019, the Japan International Cooperation Agency extended a grant for construction of 3 bridges and 3 box culverts within Juba City. I would like to appreciate Onagaga Chilwal, the Minister of Finance and Planning, and his first Undersecretary, Honorable Simon Kiman-Lado, for availing funds to make the opening of the Freedom Bridge possible for the people of South Sudan. Thank you all, Your Excellency, and this is the beginning of speeches for opening the bridge. The next person we will call to have some remark is the President of Japan International Cooperation Agency. Your Excellency Tanako, you are welcome.
إذن المشاهدون الكرام، كان هذا وكيل وزارة الطرق والجسور بيتر كوات، وقد شرح وعدد من المميزات التي يتميز بها الجسر، وأشاد بالوكالة اليابانية للتنمية الدولية والشركة المنفذة وبوزارة المالية والتخطيط. والآن مشاهدي الكرام كلمة ممثل الوكالة اليابانية للتنمية الدولية.
Your Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan. Your Excellency Tsutsumi Naohiro, Ambassador of Japan to the Republic of South Sudan. Your Excellency First Vice President Dr. Riek Machar Teni. Your Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, High Representative for Infrastructure Development in Africa and former Prime Minister of Kenya. Your Excellency Vice President Dr. James Wani Iga, the Republic of South Sudan. Your Excellency Vice President Taban Dengai. Your Excellency Vice President Rebecca Nyanden Garan. Your Excellency, Vice President Hussein Abdelbaki Akol, Honorable Simon Mijak, Minister of Roads and Bridges, Honorable Emmanuel Anthony Adil, Governor of Central Equatoria State, Honorable Mishina Takahiro, President and CEO, CTI Engineering International, Honorable Baba Yoshio, President, Dai Nippon Construction, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, distinguished guests, speakers, and participants, good morning to all of you. I extend my congratulations to the people of South Sudan on the opening of the long-awaited Freedom Bridge. I'm overjoyed to be here to celebrate its opening with all of you today. This is my second visit to South Sudan. When I visited here in April 2013, during my previous term as president of JICA, the construction of the bridge had not yet begun. Since construction commenced in 2013, work had to be suspended 3 times due to conflicts in December 2013 and July 2016, and COVID-19 outbreaks beginning in 2020. I thank the government of South Sudan, the Ministry of Roads and Bridges, CTI Engineering International, and Dai Nippon Construction for overcoming those challenges and seeing this project through to completion. Central Equatoria State and the Juba municipal government should also be commended for their continuous cooperation. I would like to express my gratitude to all parties involved for their strong dedication and tremendous efforts to complete this project. As a symbol of the cooperation and friendship between South Sudan and Japan, the Freedom Bridge was named for its 3 enduring positive impacts. 1, contributing to economic and logistics development. 2, nation building through human resource development. And 3, a symbol of freedom and peace. First, the Freedom Bridge will contribute to economic and logistics development of the region. The opening of the first permanent bridge over the Nile in South Sudan will greatly contribute not only to social and economic activities in Juba, but also to the stable supply of humanitarian aid to internally displaced persons and conflict-affected people living in rural areas. Thereby, this bridge will promote peace and stability in South Sudan. Furthermore, it will strengthen connectivity of East Africa by the international corridor from the port of Mombasa, Kenya, through Uganda to South Sudan. Second, the Freedom Bridge will advance nation building through human resource development. As many as 200 engineers and workers from South Sudan have gained knowledge and mastered advanced skills through their collaboration with Japanese engineers. Likewise, Japanese engineers were very much inspired by the diligence of their South Sudanese colleagues who showed unwavering dedication to their duties, no matter how the challenges facing them were big. Students from the University of Juba also benefited from the educational opportunities provided by construction site visits and lectures on Japanese construction technology arranged by the project team. I'm sure that those skilled engineers and bright students play an important role in the future development of South Sudan. Third, The Freedom Bridge stands as a symbol of freedom and peace. The fact that the long-awaited Freedom Bridge is now open to the public is a testament to the restoration of peace in Juba. I hope this bridge will be treasured and used by the people of South Sudan for many, many years to come. South Sudan is now at the critical final stage in the peace process. I would like to ask all of us here today to take a moment to reflect on the importance of peace and stability throughout South Sudan and the opportunity for freedom and development that peace and stability will bring. Now, as a president of JICA, I will touch upon our work in South Sudan. In cooperation with South Sudan for the consolidation of peace and economic stability, JICA has three key priorities. They are, first, accelerating the peace process. Two, improving the foundations of economic strength and infrastructure. And three, assisting with social services improvement. JICA is pursuing these goals through a variety of efforts, including agricultural sector collaboration and promotion of the participation of youth and women in social and economic activities. Meanwhile, the construction of the water supply facility in Juba is on track for completion in February 2023. In our efforts to promote the peace process, we have focused on the power of sports to unite the people of South Sudan. National Unity Day, which was first held in January 2016 under the theme of Sports for Peace and Social Cohesion, is now in its 6th year. More than 400 young people from across the country participated in the event this past March. Mr. Guan Abraham Mayak Matet and Ms. Maurice Lucia William Carlo, who have displayed their athletic excellence at past National Unity Day events, both participated in the Tokyo Olympic Games last August. Their presence at the Olympic Games embodied the unity of the people of South Sudan. Maebashi City in Japan hosted them for a year and a half, during which they participated in a long-term training camp. As a result of this cultural exchange, not only the citizens of South Sudan, but also many people across Japan cheered for the South Sudanese athletes. JICA's cooperation through sports has helped deepen the friendship between South Sudanese and Japanese citizens. We look forward to the continuation of this relationship as we work together to create a unified and harmonious world through a shared love of sports. TICAD 8, or the 8th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, is scheduled for August 27th and 28th this year, providing an opportunity to further strengthen the ties between Africa and Japan. The three pillars of TICAD 8 are: 1. Achieving sustainable and inclusive growth with reduced economic inequalities. 2. Realizing sustainable and resilient societies through a human security approach. And 3. Building sustainable peace and stability by supporting African initiatives. In following with JICA's vision of leading the world with trust, we are committed to the promotion of sustainable peace and stability in South Sudan. We will continue to collaborate with the government of South Sudan to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, with the aim of a world where no one is left behind. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, President of JICA. We appreciate the work you have done for the people of Republic of
إذا
South Sudan.
المشاهدون الكرام، كان هذا رئيس الوكالة اليابانية للتنمية الدولية، وقد حن شعب جنوب السودان والحكومة على هذا الإنجاز التاريخي الذي طال انتظاره. ويقول أنه يزور البلاد للمرة الثانية على التوالي، وقد أشاد بالشركة المنفذة والأجهزة الأمنية وحكومة ولاية الاستواء الوسطى ومجلس بلدية جوبا، ويساهم هذا الجسر في الازدهار الاقتصادي والتنمية الاقتصادية في البلاد. ويقول أن جسر الحرية رمزا للحرية والكرامة والصداقة مع الشعب الياباني. الآن مشاهدينا الكرام، معا لنتابع أو نستمع ونشاهد كلمة حاكم ولاية الاستوائية الوسطى الأستاذ إيمانويل عادل أنطوني.
Your Excellency, General Salva Kiir Mayardit, the President of the Republic of South Sudan, Your Excellency, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, the Chairperson of Africa High-Level Committee on Infrastructure Development and the former Prime Minister of Kenya, Your Excellency, First Vice President, all the Vice Presidents present here, Honorable Simon Mijok, the Minister of Roads and Bridges, and your colleagues, the Honorable Excellency Ambassador of Japan and the President of JICA, all government dignitaries in your respective portfolios, all protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, today is the day of the President. I have not much to say. I welcome you to Rajab Payam of Juba County in Central Equatoria State. Your Excellency, I salute you and the entire revitalized government of national unity for this great gift and achievement to the people of South Sudan under your leadership of the construction of the Freedom Bridge. We say congratulations. Nasavigla say Reise Amwaninta Junubu ta Juba Kollo. Shukran alaikum. Your Excellency, the Freedom Bridge stands a symbol of great friendship between the people of South Sudan and the people of Japan that will be remembered by many generations to come. Therefore, on behalf of government and the people of Central Equatoria gathered here, allow me, Your Excellency, to congratulate the government and the people of Japan for this landmark and the state-of-art modern bridge, which is to serve as the greatest asset for economic development of our beloved country, the Republic of South Sudan. To our Japanese friends, represented here by His Excellency the Ambassador and JICA country representative, kindly we are grateful for your support to the water, network, infrastructure development in Juba city in advance. Thank you so much. Distinguished guests, I believe that this bridge will be one of the important links to the Trans-Africa Highway Network. And for that reason, the bridge will greatly contribute to the economic freedom, not only to South Sudan, but the entire continent of Africa. I therefore appeal to all our development partners who wish to help the people of South Sudan and who want our country to accelerate into the development agenda set by our president to emulate what Japan has done in helping the country to develop its infrastructure, particular road network, to link areas of production to markets both locally, regional, and international. Such infrastructure development will help the citizens create wealth that will lead to development and prosperity of South Sudan as our motto. Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor Honorable Andil Anthony of Central Equatoria. Please clap for him for his good remark. He has done his part. not waste time.
إذا المشاهدون الكرام، كان هذا حاكم ولاية الاستوائية الوسطى إيمانويل عادل أنطوني، وقد أهنى وحيا رئيس الجمهورية وأعضاء حكومته نيابة عن حكومة ولاية الاستوائية الوسطى، وقال أن الجسر سيكون له عائد اقتصادي واجتماعي لمواطني ولاية الاستوائية وشعب جنوب السودان. والآن مشاهدي الكرام كلمة السفير الياباني لدى جنوب السودان. إذا نحييكم وندعوكم لمتابعة هذا النقل الحي من جسر الحرية. والآن كلمة السفير الياباني.
His Excellency Taban Dengai, Vice President of the Republic of South Sudan. His Excellency Dr. James Wani Iga, Vice President of the Republic of South Sudan. Honorable Simon Mijak, Minister of Roads and Bridges of the Republic of South Sudan. Honorable Emmanuel Adil Anthony, Governor of Central Equatoria State. The Right Honorable Raila Odinga, African Union Representative for Infrastructure Development. Dr. Tanaka Akihiko, President, Japan International Cooperation Agency. Mr. Mishina Takahiro, President and CEO, CTI Engineering International Company Limited. Mr. Baba Yoshio, President and Representative Director, Dai Nippon Construction. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. It's still 11:53, so good morning. Assalamu alaikum. It's my greatest pleasure to join you all today to celebrate the handing over of Freedom Bridge. First and foremost, let me praise the construction team of Freedom Bridge. JICA, CTI Engineering International, and Dai Nippon Construction, composed of the Japanese, the South Sudanese, and people from the third countries. They did complete this huge bridge in front of you. During the construction, they fully demonstrated the top-notch skills, professionalism, and self-sacrifice. As Ambassador of Japan, I'm very, very proud of you. Thank you. They also shared their skills and experience with many South Sudanese engineers and technicians too. That's great. That's great. I would also like to extend my sincere appreciation to Your Excellency, President Salva Kiir, the attending dignitaries of South Sudanese government and the whole government of South Sudan for giving the construction team necessary supports and helps to overcome many challenges, difficulties, and problems they've faced. Without such support and help, this could not have happened. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Japan has been enthusiastically assisting South Sudan since its independence in various ways, such as WMIS, humanitarian assistances and development projects, with more than 700 million US dollars and more than 4,000 Japanese nationals' participation. Taking this opportunity, let me share my thought on one simple question. Why does Japan help South Sudan? It is, of course, good to South Sudan, of course. But what does it mean to Japan? There are 5 causes and motivations, at least, on Japan's side. In other words, legitimate interest of Japan to do so. Firstly, helping South Sudan is perfectly in line with Japan's foreign policy, proactive contribution to the global peace. With this policy, Japan is willing to help a peace-building effort on the globe, however far it is from Japan. The Japanese, why? It's because such peace building is an indispensable component of the global peace, on which Japan's peace and security depends. Therefore, the Japanese assistance to the South Sudanese peace building and nation building effort is embodying the policy proactive contribution to the global peace. Secondly, Japan attaches great importance to the realization of human security across the globe. The human security is the concept that every single human being is entitled to live a safe and dignified life and should be allowed to develop his or her potentials to the maximum extent possible. Japan believes that human security should be guaranteed for the South Sudanese people who have long suffered the civil war. In addition to Japan, the contribution to the realization of human security in South Sudan would add a glorious new page to Japan's history. I believe so. Thirdly, Japan needs stability in East Africa. To Japan, East Africa is the gateway to the entire African continent. And South Sudan's peace and security, stability interrelates with that of East Africa. Thus, Japan expects that South Sudan will remain a stabilizing factor in this region. Fourthly, Japan wants to strengthen the cooperation with South Sudan in addressing global issues, including the rules-based international order, the UN reform, environment, etc., etc. Until now, the bilateral cooperation has been in a great shape. South Sudan extends support to many Japan's candidacies in international elections. Japan highly appreciates South Sudan's recent supporting of the UN General Assembly resolution of the 24th of March on improvement of the humanitarian situation of civilians in Ukraine under the Russian invasion. Japan hopes to continuously work with South Sudan in protecting universal core values underpinning the global peace, security, and prosperity, such as rule-based international order. And fifthly, Japan wants more active bilateral exchanges. I hear South Sudanese honey is very much popular among health-conscious Japanese people for its purity and naturalness. My birth city, north of Tokyo, hosted the South Sudanese national Olympic team for more than a year in preparation for Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Games. These are good examples of bilateral exchange, but we need to see more of them in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, these 5 causes and the motivations and the achievements out of them show us that our bilateral relationship has not been unilateral, but mutually beneficial and will be so. Ladies and gentlemen, Japan highly commends the recent progress in the implementation of the RRCs, including agreements pertaining to the formation of the unified forces. This demonstrates clearly the unwavering leadership and determination of the South Sudanese government to build a peaceful, prosperous, and democratic nation of South Sudan. You can do that. I believe you can do that. I reassure you, South Sudanese friends, that Japan will be continuously standing by you and supporting you as long as your self-help efforts for durable peace and nation building will continue. And Japan hopes to further strengthen the bilateral relations in a way even more mutually beneficial than ever. Lastly, but not least, dear South Sudanese friends, now Freedom Bridge is in your hands. Please take good care of it. It will work very hard for you, laying itself down for you like a bridge over the troubled water. You know the song? And I'm sure Freedom Bridge will stand as a symbol of true friendship between Japan and South Sudan for many, many, many generations to come. Shukran jazilan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador.
إذن المشاهدون الكرام، كان ذاك السفير الياباني الذي قال أنه فخور لانضمام لشعب جنوب السودان والاحتفال معه لهذا الإنجاز التاريخي الذي يعد أولى خطوات التنمية والازدهار في تنمية البنى التحتية في البلاد. وأضاف المسؤول الياباني أن بلاده ظل وسيظل يقدم المساعدات الفنية في مجالات عديدة، وقال أن هنالك خمس دوافع من دولة اليابان لدعم جنوب السودان، ويعبر عن سياسات اليابان لدعم السلام والاستقرار العالمي. ثانيا قال إن اليابان يدعم الأمن الإنساني وحسب أهداف الأمم المتحدة للتنمية الأمن الإنساني، ولذلك تؤمن الحكومة اليابانية بدعم شعب جنوب السودان لتعويض الخدمات التي فقدها طيلة فترة الحرب. واليابان تعتبر أن دولة جنوب السودان بوابة من بوابات دول الشرق أفريقيا. وجدد السفير الياباني دعم دولة اليابان لجنوب السودان للاستقرار والسلام في المجالات كافة. إذن المشاهدون الكرام، الآن كلمة وزير الطرق والجسور سايمون ميجوك ميجاك.
The President of the Republic of South Sudan, Your Excellency Dr. Riek Machar Teng, the First Vice President of the Republic and Chairperson of the Governance Cluster, Your Excellency Dr. James Wani Iga, the Vice President of the Republic and Chairperson of Economic Cluster, Your Excellency Gerald Taban Dengai, the Vice President of the Republic and Chairperson of Infrastructure Cluster, Right Honorable Jema Nuno Kumba, the Speaker of the National Legislature, Honorable General Kwalma Nyangyuk, Senior Advisor, Presidential Advisor, Honorable Emmanuel Adil Anthony, the Governor of Central Equatoria, Excellencies, Ambassador of Japan to South Sudan, Excellency, the President of JICA, and the President of CTI, President of DNC, and Excellencies, Ambassador accredited to the Republic of South Sudan, representatives of international organizations and partners, members of the public. Your Excellency, I will try to skip some of my speech because the time is yours and I'm given limit time, but I would like to highlight on the importance of this great infrastructure. And I must thank you in particular as the President of the Republic for your wise leadership that encouraged us and in the Ministry of Roads to complete this mega project. As it is well known that road transport is fundamental important mode of transport to the development of and growth of a nation. It's play a critical role in advancing industry, agriculture, trade by providing means of transportation of goods and services, as well as enhancing poverty reduction by access between communities locally and regionally. Ever since the pre- and post-independence of the country in July 2011, considerable amount of resources from both the government and development partners have been invested in the rehabilitation of roads, network, and bridges in both urban and rural sides of the country. One such development is the Freedom Bridge, which we are celebrating today. It is mentioned earlier, the size, I will not repeat it, it's 560 meters, it's already. But the most important, we are now standing in C3, that is circumferential road number 3, because when you go up, it will link up with number 4 in Luri. This is based on the feasibility studies carried out by JICA in 2007, and I must thank DNC and CTI for their commitment of giving us the total master plan of Juba City. So what we are implementing up to Luri is in the master plan and already approved by the government. The construction of this bridge is going to improve mobility and operation and delivering of safer and more reliable travel for motorists, bicyclists, and pedestrians alike, leaving alone the benefit gained directly through employment opportunities and indirectly through the purchase of merchandise goods in the market of Juba City and its suburban. The cost, as we heard in the introduction, was borne by the government of Japan through the Japan International Cooperation Agency, which served as the lead agency during the construction. The development of this bridge has been one of the priority of the government projects in South Sudan road development plan. And it is at least one of the largest river crossing infrastructure project delivered under the leadership of His Excellency General Salva Kiir Mayardit, the President of the Republic, in order to improve safety of our people and their properties, and also ease mobility and enhance the quality life of our people. As we are standing here, this place was only these nice mango trees in 2012, but now the urbanization has taken over, which become another challenge we are handling with His Honorable Governor of Central Equatoria. This magnificent new bridge is especially meaningful because of our strong partnership with the people and the government of Japan. So it is going to stand as a symbol of our strong and uncheckable relations, because Japan, we have known Japan even on our roads, the cars we are using, and even the contribution to peace. South Sudan and South Sudanese don't forget their friends. So Japan is the only country came up with contribution for peace, which we are now enjoying. And the evidence is our attendance. These people, Your Excellency, we have not transported them to this place. They came on their own, and even the expectation was beyond our planning. I must thank them because they came with joy and peace, and I thank also the religious leaders. So we have been working at all levels of the government, which we will not take alone in the Ministry of Roads. There are partners who have worked tirelessly with the ministry to realize this infrastructure. And first, the bridges we are using to facilitate mobility in Juba. For example, from 7 Day through Gudele Road, it was Japan constructed 3 bridges, which had facilitated. And the other, number 4, is the one going to Bill Farm, the Muniki. Then next to Sabah Hospital, and the 6th is to the old bridge. These bridges, I can testify, before I joined the government, I was in University of Juba. We used to shut down lectures when it's rain. But now it's just 5 minutes and you are the center of the town. I must congratulate JICA for their commitment. And we are still going on. The numbers were 20, but unfortunately we have lost some because they were budgeted and we have not consumed them due to our own problems. However, to fully realize the potential of this bridge, there must be the construction of the Logo bypass. And I can say to my people in the Logo and Gumbo, now the price of the land is even more than Muniki. Your Excellency, this is a policy we are advocating in the Ministry of Roads and Bridges, that the government of His Excellency President Salva Kiir is taking the public money and put it in the pocket of citizens indirectly. And I can challenge you, go and ask the price of your house, whether renting or selling. This is what we are doing up to Luri and all over South Sudan. We make money. Whether you mortgage to the bank and you take a loan, it is another business. It's come because of roads and other infrastructure which are coming up. So, Your Excellency, we are committed to complete the rest because the Japanese have done their part by fixing this mega bridge. But the road, as you have just passed, we are still working with our partner, African Resource Corporation, ARC. They are doing the best. They will connect up to Yei Road. And the Japanese, I must also thank them for granting us another additional 20 million USD to connect the bridge through Kator and the rest to Yei Road so that it becomes the real meaning of delivery of services. And I must thank the Ambassador of Japan for facilitating such kind of additional grant and our Ministry of Foreign Affairs for the coordination. This bridge also will need the enforcement of a way bridge because the load now is almost 100 or over 100 for the old bridge. But this bridge is designed to take 56. And we are raising again this time to get our legal mandate in terms of bill from the Ministry of Justice is almost finishing for imposing road tolls and other levies for maintenance. We have the experience of Nimuli Road is an experience. Your Excellency, the security of the bridge, this is also our next challenge, and I must do justice here, Your Excellency. Despite of all negative about our security sector, our being here today is a joint work they have done to convince the Japanese to come back to South Sudan. So I must congratulate our Ministry of Defense, the SSPDF, for securing this bridge. Even this occasion, they have worked tirelessly to do that. I must also thank our national security for securing also the bridge and the venue, as well as our Ministry of Interior for the traffic and regulations of movement. They have also done the Interior, given a visa on arrival for the Japanese to come to South Sudan, because in Japan, although we have the embassy, but it's still the online application of visa is still another challenge. So I must thank the Ministry and the Minister of Interior for this joint work done. Your Excellency, not to take much time, I must state here, in our master plan, Juba town or city is going to have 5 bridges. We are now having the old one and the new one. We are still left in our master plan for 3 bridges. Because we are moving to other locations as we are speaking, the construction of Kalman-Omboro bridge in Wau is almost completing in 4 months' time. As we are moving, Luri Bridge, Your Excellency, is the next station of our celebration, together with Aboba, Cabo, Kapuri, and even Luri 5 is somewhere part of the C4. The roads, we all know the struggle we are having with Juba Rumbek Road. We are almost finishing the first sector of 63 kilometers to Terkeka, which we are planning to be open for public use in July. Boro, the same. We are also raising against time with difficult resources, but the contractor is directed to continue instead of a double carriageway that is 4-lane from Mangala, will run faster, single 2-lane up to Bor, and hopefully they are almost passing the 100 kilometers. But unfortunately, Your Excellency, as we heard that we have lost some workers whom I call soldiers who died in action. And I'm going to recommend Your Excellency as Commander-in-Chief of the organized forces to be added into the list of our martyrs. We have lost today one driver of ARC on Bo Road. It was ambushed by the criminals, and this is not the first time. It happened several times on Mundi Road, on Rumbek Road, on Ye Road. All the fight now have turned from using T-72 tank, we are using doses, and they sometimes got defenseless, but this is the price of another phase of our liberation, that is the development agenda. Your Excellency, not to take much time because it is your time, because the public are waiting for Your Excellency, I will skip the rest because these are just policy direction but I must take these minutes to appreciate and welcome our special guest to South Sudan. As a government and people, I sorry missed his recognition in the beginning. His Excellency Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, the African Union High Representative for Infrastructure Development in Africa, and former Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya, for taking this time, although of his schedule, and I must thank Your Excellency, the President of the Republic, for the invitation. You are welcome, Your Excellency, to your ancestral land, as you have seen the dances. It's okay, but let me finish. Your Excellency, I must not leave this place without thanking our partners in the Ministry of Roads and Bridges, and I must do justice to yourself as the President of the Republic by thanking you for giving me this opportunity to witness this commissioning, because I witnessed as a Deputy Minister before. I have already thanked our
إذن المشاهدون الكرام، كان هذا وزير الطرق والجسور سايمون مجوك مجاك، وقد أكد أهمية وعظمة هذا اليوم التاريخي، لأن الطرق والجسور هما أساس لأي تقدم وازدهار للبلاد.
I must thank the Ministry of Environment and Forestry.
ولهذا يمثل جسر الحرية البداية الفعلية لثورة البنى التحتية في البلاد، وقال مجوك أن الجسر يمثل رمز العلاقة والصداقة بين شعب جنوب السودان والشعب الياباني. وجدد مجوك التزام وعزم وزارة الطرق والجسور وشركة ARC لإكمال المشروعات التي بدأت منذ العام الماضي. واختتم مجوك كلمته وأكد أن حسب الاستراتيجية والخطة الاستراتيجية لوزارة، فإن مدينة جوبا ستكون لها 5 جسور على طول النيل.
The Vice President of the Republic. Raila? Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry. Let me correct myself.
إذن المشاهدون الكرام، بعد قليل سنستمع إلى كلمة مبعوث الاتحاد الأفريقي للبنى الأفريقية للبنى التحتية في أفريقيا، وهو رايلا أودينغا، رئيس وزراء الحكومة الكينية السابق والمرشح الرئاسي للانتخابات الكينية القادمة. إذن الكلمة مع رايلا أودينغا، مبعوث رئيس الاتحاد الأفريقي للبنى التحتية في أفريقيا.
Your Excellency, President Salva Kiir, the President of the Republic of South Sudan, Your Excellency, Dr. Riek Machar, the first Vice President of the Republic of South Sudan, all the other Vice Presidents of this Republic, Your Excellency, Ambassador of Japan to South Sudan, the President of JICA, all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, hamjambo, assalamu alaikum. I am very delighted to be here in Juba, the capital of the Republic of South Sudan. And at the beginning, I want to convey the greetings of His Excellency, President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the President of the Republic of Kenya, and also greetings from His Excellency Musa Faki Mahamat, the Chairman of the African Union, which I'm representing here. I want to congratulate His Excellency President Salva Kiir on the occasion of the commissioning of this historic Freedom Bridge. I equally thank the government of Japan for financing the construction of this historic connectivity project. I am here as the African Union High Representative on Infrastructural Development. The completion of this bridge confirms Japan's commitment to the resolutions of the 5th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, or TICAD 5, which was held in Yokohama, Japan in June 2013. And this has been confirmed through the speech of the ambassador. At that conference, the Japanese government reaffirmed its commitment to supporting infrastructure development in Africa. We are therefore grateful that in this part of Africa, you have seen Japan finance the Rusumo International Bridge and one-stop border post facilities in Rwanda, the Source of Nile Bridge in Uganda, and now this. Japan is also financing a number of infrastructure projects in Kenya, and we are deeply grateful. On behalf of the people of South Sudan and the East African community, I say a big thank you to the government and people of Japan for the help they have extended to our people. Every bridge built is a relationship established. Freedom Bridge will resolve first the transport disruption and trade interruption between the people of South Sudan themselves and the people of East Africa. As High Representative for Infrastructure Development of the African Union, I am well aware that Africa has many landlocked countries and a number of nations with small economies. It is therefore critical that we develop regional infrastructure to enhance connectivity among countries. This will in turn promote regional integration, which is necessary for the continent to fully exploit its potential. It has been said that Africa trades very little with itself. Inter-African trade today stands only at 15%, whereas inter-European trade stands at 70%. Intra-Asian trade stands at 50%. Intra-South American trade stands at 25%. Infrastructure has been recognized as one of the major impediments to intra-African trade. But with this bridge now, South Sudanese businesses, they need to easily access the port of Mombasa or Lamu, just like the Kenyan traders need to easily access Juba. I meant Kenyan and Ugandan traders. This bridge is part of the answer to the quest for access by our traders. Freedom Bridge is going to be a critical artery to the South Sudan and regional economy, connecting the landlocked country to the port of Mombasa and the regional and global markets. It is an important guarantor for the trade and economic development of South Sudan and the East African community. In this regard, I want to recognize and appreciate the work that our leaders have done and continue to do, and the effort being put into mainstreaming infrastructure as a tool for Africa's integration and economic growth. Between 2013 and 2017, the average annual funding for infrastructure development in Africa rose to $77 billion from about $39 billion in the first quarter of the 21st century. West Africa and East Africa have particularly been resurgent in this aspect. Although there is much talk about foreign, particularly Chinese investment in Africa's infrastructure, African governments have substantially increased their spending on infrastructure. It now stands at somewhere around 42%. Our governments are making bold commitments to pursue infrastructure as a pillar of the continental trade and integration agenda. Now, Mr. President, while I'm here, I must also say that this bridge, you can call it basically a phase in the development of LAPSET, which is Lamu Port, South Sudan, and Ethiopian transport corridor. This is a dream that was conceived way back over 10 years ago. The LAPSET corridor, which connects the Lamu port to Juba in South Sudan and Ethiopia. That is phase one. But phase two, this project is supposed to link east and west from Juba to Bangui in Central African Republic up to Cameroonian port of Kribi by rail, creating a land bridge that connects the Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean, that of opening the interior of the African continent, connecting most of the landlocked countries like Chad, like Niger, like Mali, to the Atlantic and also the Indian Ocean. As the Japanese ambassador said, this project is intended to be the bridge where all the goods coming from the east, from Japan, from Australia, from India, from China, from the Arab world will come to the port of Lamu and then will be transported by rail through Juba, going to Bangui all the way up to Kribi in the west. And then from Juba will link to Khartoum to Egypt. From Bangui to N'Djamena in Chad, and also Niamey in Niger. Then through to Brazzaville and Kinshasa, the DRC and Congo Republic. From Yaoundé in Cameroon to Lagos in Nigeria, and that connects to the rest of West Africa. And then all the goods coming from the West, the United States, from Brazil, from Europe, will go to the Cameroon, and then by rail coming all the way through this place to Lamu in East This will facilitate inter-African trade and make it easier for African countries to work with each other. This is our dream, and it's a project whose time has come. And we also are talking about building a pipeline from the South Sudan and connecting with the Kenyan oil in the Turkana and taking it all the way to Lamu for export to the rest of the world. I think this is a dream whose time has come. But when I'm here, Mr. President, I feel I'm back home. And I must talk with my brother and sister as a brother. So the few remarks I want to make here should be taken as somebody talking to his brothers and sisters. Africa has been blamed as a pariah in the world. That Africa is a lost hope, the third world. We as a Pan-Africanists who believe in the ability of the African people to develop Africa must stand firm and talk and not regret the past but look at the future. Africa must leapfrog and catch up with the rest of the world. We know what actually brought South Sudan backwards, but that is now history. We must look forward. Just last week, 10 people of African descent were shot dead by a racist in the United States of America. This is a shame to the world, but it's also a wake-up call. Those people were killed not because of any crime they committed, only because they were Africans. It's a shame. But what about Africans killing themselves in the African continent? There's no excuse for that. Guns are weapons for liberation. But once independence is attained, guns belong to the barracks, not on the streets. This bridge here should not be guaranteed by the military of South Sudan. It should be protected by the civilians and civilian police. The military belongs to the barracks. They should defend South Sudan against foreign aggression, not about internal disruptions here. We had a problem. No country in Africa does not have its problems. We had problems in Kenya in 2007, and we saw what it cost us. Many people were killed during disruption following the disputed elections of 2007. In 2017, we also again had challenges. When we had disputes in the elections, we went to court, the court nullified the presidential elections. And some of our people, my supporters, said, let us go and swear in. I went and I was sworn in right in the center of Nairobi as the people's president. So my people said, let us now basically announce our sovereignty and remove all the portraits of the president from all our strongholds and begin to collect taxes and run our affairs as an independent state. And I saw that if we go that route, we're taking Kenya to Somalia. Then the President Uhuru's people told him, Raila has committed treason. Let's arrest him, charge him with treason, take him to committee, and hang him. He also said that will create problems in the country. So under those circumstances, we sat down with my brother Uhuru Kenyatta, and we talked. We talked until ultimately said Kenya is bigger than both of us. So we said we must now have a homegrown solution to our problem. And we talked. We agreed these are the problems which have been ailing our country since independence up to now. And we can resolve them. I said, I'm ready, and he also said he was ready. I told him, bring a lawyer, I'll bring my lawyer. I brought a lawyer, and I brought also a lawyer. And we instructed the lawyers, this is what we want done. The lawyers went and crafted a document. With this document, we went and addressed the people of Kenya and said we have now found a solution to our problem. And this is what we want to be done for our country going forward. And we shook hands together with Uhuru Kenyatta. That brought peace in the country up to now. So I've talked with my brothers here in South Sudan. You have also crisis. But I've told them the solution is here. The solution is not at Addis Ababa, not in Kampala or in Tebe, not in Nairobi, not in Khartoum. It is right here. I want you people to talk as brothers and let the guns go to the barracks. And you let be protected by civilian police. If you guys do this, nothing will stop us in this region of East Africa from achieving proper integration of this union and realizing the dreams of the founding fathers of this nation. The late Dr. John Garang de Mabior used to refer to me as a brother. And he told me how he was arrested in Kenya as a young boy and locked up in a committee because he was in Kenya illegally in the colonial days. And then after my father got him from prison when Kenya became independent and took him out of the country because we were independent but not fully republic to Uganda and saved his life. And we were with him as a brother. And his dream was to eventually to realize East African integration. I have a wish that this could be realized in the time of our brothers here in power. I want to conclude therefore by saying that we are going for elections in Kenya. I'm a presidential candidate. And I'm hoping to win the elections. If I win the elections, I want us to open the border between South Sudan and Kenya. We'll talk about funding this highway from Juba to Nadapal to Nairobi so that you can be able to access the goods from the Naivasha inland depots. Within just a matter of 10 hours, you'll be there. Another 10 hours, the goods are back here in Juba. This is what we want to do, and you can't come to walk to Kenya as a South Sudanese without even any passport, just your own ID, and you'll be there. I thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
إذا المشاهدون الكرام، كان هذا رائيلا أودينغا مبعوث الرئيس الاتحاد الأفريقي للتنمية والبنى التحتية في القارة الأفريقية. قال أن جسر الحرية يمثل واحدة من أهداف الاتحاد الأفريقي لتطوير البنى التحتية في القارة الأفريقية، وقال أن جسر الحرية سيكون له عائد اقتصادي لربط البلاد مع شرق إفريقيا خاصة أوغندا وكينيا. وقال أودينغا إن الحكومات الأفريقية بدأت في خطوات حقيقية للتنمية الاقتصادية والبنى التحتية، وأضاف أن جسر الحرية يمثل واحدة من أهداف نورذرن كوريدور أو ما يعرف بالممر الشمالي التي بدأت قبل العوام بين كينيا وإثيوبيا وأوغندا وجنوب السودان، إلى جانب ربط جنوب السودان بالطريق القاري أو عبر الطريق القاري الذي يربط جوبا، الخرطوم، القاهرة، بهدف تطوير الاقتصادات الأفريقية عبر ربط كل المدن الأفريقية. وقال أن حماية الجسر سيكون لمواطني جنوب السودان وليس من واجب الأجهزة الأمنية، لأن واجب الأجهزة الأمنية هي حماية الحدود والعدوان الخارجي. وناشد قيادات جنوب السودان لاعتماد على أنفسهم وترك الحلول الخارجية للقضايا السياسية والعمل لإرساء دعم السلام والاستقرار. وقال باعتباره مرشح الانتخابات الكينية فإنه يتوقع أن يفوز وسيفتح الحدود بين جنوب السودان وكينيا لازدهار العلاقات الاقتصادية والاجتماعية عبر منباسا وندبال الحدودية. الآن مشاهدي الكرام نستمع إلى كلمة رئيس قطاع البنى التحتية نائب رئيس الجمهورية السيد تعبان دنجاي.
انتوا عارفين دائما في جنوب السودان هديه بيجي من نصبان بتاعك، زول نسيبك، زوج بيتك ولا زوجة بيته يا بيجيب لك هديه. لكن انا ما زوجنا بيت بتاع اليابان وهم ما زوج بيت بتاعنا، لكن ده صداقه، ده فرنشيب. عشان كده امباسادور جبيل قال 5 حاجات صداقه بتاعنا ده، فبقول مبروك علينا كلنا. South Sudan and Japan have a profound traditional friendship and cooperation dated back to 1970s. The SPLM-led government and Japanese government continue to enjoy a time-honored history of cooperation in all sectors, particularly infrastructure sector. Freedom Bridge is not just only a transit point, but a symbol of a great friendship between government of the Republic of South Sudan and Japanese government. The opening of Freedom Bridge will decongest Juba Bridge and ease transportation of goods and services from East Africa markets to South Sudanese markets. Few years ago, the RT Gono, under leadership of His Excellency President Salva Kiir prioritized infrastructure development to realize economic growth and improve security within our country and our borders. Roads bring development and unity among people. Today, opening of Freedom Bridge is a big milestone in making that great dream come true. The Republic of South Sudan and her people will soon witness opening of more infrastructural development projects like roads, other bridges across the country. Thus, I'm appealing to my countrymen and women that let us maintain peace, because where there is peace, there is development. But let not forget, as we are celebrating this achievement today, this bridge comes with great responsibilities. Chief among them is the overloading of trucks and violation of weight control. I urge South Sudan Road Authority to immediately come up with measures to curb this impunity by road users. You know, when the trucks leave Mombasa, a load of one truck is put in two trucks, two big loaded trucks, because of the regulation in East Africa community road users, where you are allowed to carry only 58, 57 as a maximum capacity. But when the truck reach normally, this load of two trucks is put in one truck because we have no regulation here. Yeah, and 56 ton is put into a truck and then come to Juba. That's why the road of normally Juba has worn out in no time. Road Authority, Your Excellency, let me conclude my remark by congratulating you and all those who contributed to making this historic project successfully. Remarkably, Minister of Road and Villages, with all his departments, Central Equatorial State, Juba County, and communities around here who gave their land and provide security to working personnel and the entire JICA family. I thank you so much, Your Excellency. Now, let me invite the first Vice President to introduce the President.
الحي. إذن المشاهدون الكرام نجدد اللقاء بكم في هذا النقل الحي المباشر من جسر الحرية. وكان نائب رئيس الجمهورية رئيس قطاع البنى التحتية جنرال تعبان دينغاي قال إن كبرى الحرية أو جسر الحرية ثمر من ثمار العلاقة والصداقة بين اليابان والشعب وحكومة جنوب السودان. وقال تعبان أن قطاع البنى التحتية سيشهد إنجازات في المرحلة المقبل. ووجه تعبان سلطة أو هيئة الطرق والجسور لوضع الضوابط في حماية الجسور والكباري. والآن مشاهدي الكرام
General Salva Kiir
كلمة النائب الأول
President of the Republic of South Sudan, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, African Union High Representative for Infrastructure Development and former Prime Minister of Kenya and presidential candidate. My colleagues, the Vice Presidents, Right Honorable Madam Jema Nunu Kumba, the Speaker of the National Legislative Assembly, Honorable Emmanuel Adil Anthony, the Governor of Central Equatoria, Minister of Roads, Honorable Ministers, Ambassador of Japan, President of JICA, all distinguished guests and members of the public. Your Excellency, I want to congratulate you on this milestone, the opening of the Freedom Bridge, Kubril Huriya. This is a milestone in our history. As said by our partner, this is the first permanent bridge on the Nile in South Sudan. We are very grateful to people of Japan for assisting us to construct this important bridge. The Juba Bridge is actually not a permanent bridge. it can be dismantled and be erected in another place. But this bridge was also donated by another partner. I believe it was the Dutch government that contributed that bridge in the 70s. When we talk of this bridge, of its advantages, we should also talk of the advantages of the Juba Bridge. Juba Bridge came after the Addis Ababa Agreement, after peace. And partners contributed it. In the same like the Freedom Bridge is contributed or constructed by partners after peace. This underlines the importance of peace. Without peace, it would be difficult to do infrastructure. If we were to record now, since peace was signed, there are very important projects that the government has embarked on. The Bull Road, which is another transcontinental road which would link us with Sudan and also linking us with Uganda and the rest of Africa south of us. This can only be completed during peace. And I believe that is why the Minister of Roads lamented the death of 2 people on their road to Bor. People who are doing work for all of us, unfortunately, get killed. We want to send a message to all our people that such infrastructure, such as bridges, roads, are important for them. They're not important for government alone. They are important for all of us. And that is why when Right Honorable Raila said, this bridge does not need to be protected by soldiers. It is these citizens who would protect it, because it is the advantage of it goes to them. I want to remind our partners, the first time the Japanese partners came to us in 2000, I believe it was 2007. The first project they embarked on was Juba Urban Master Plan. We were trying to persuade them to cross the river, to cross the bridge. But they told us the security details is that they must not cross that bridge. They must not cross the bridge. This is from Japan. By then, Juba was west of the Nile. They did the master plan. Our partners, the Japanese, I'm happy that now we are in the place you were told not to cross. This is now Gumba, this is Lologo or Rejaf. But when you came to this country, you were told not to cross the bridge. Your security details. So we are happy that you have crossed it. And you have built this bridge. And the statement by the ambassador, the comprehensive statement by the ambassador, human security. Yes, we need human security like you have it in Japan. And that is why you couldn't cross the bridge. I also want to give a meaning, another meaning to this bridge. The first ambassador who came, actually, no, your predecessor, Mr. Ambassador, your predecessor, before he left, I had a meeting with him. We wanted to discuss what is it that Japan can do with South Sudan. What is it that we can trade? Then he said, by the way, South Sudan in Japan is not known, but they know the honey of South Sudan. I'm happy that you have mentioned the honey, because this bridge, the biggest production of honey is in the west. It's not in the east. So with this bridge, and you know, freedom is beautiful, is sweet. And therefore, honey is also sweet. So the honey is produced in the west. And you have made this bridge, you will access, or we will access, the production of honey. And we will increase the volume of trade between us with honey. So I say this is important. This is another meaning which we give to this bridge. You have constructed it. وانا عايز اقول بعربي لشعبنا نحن في اليابان نحن بنقول يابان ما معروفين كدولة جنوب السودان. هم بيعرفونا بعسل النحل الكبري ده هسه بيقطع النيل. محل اللي فيه إنتاج أكثر للنحل هو في الغرب، غرب استوائية، بحر الغزال، ولاية الوحدة. دي معناها هسه ربط محل الإنتاج مع الطريق اللي بيمشي ليابان. سو نحن مشكورين جدا. هنتاجر معهم والشيء اللي هم بيحبوه نحن كمان بنحبه وبلدنا يمشي قدام. Your Excellency, Right Honorable Raila, we are implementing peace. We are committed to peace. It is slow, the implementation is slow, but we are committed to it, to see that our country become peaceful and become competitive, become prosperous. This is a commitment we want to tell you on your way back home, that the people of South Sudan are committed to peace. I want to congratulate you for the handshake that had worked. This is very important, because with the confidence you have shown us that you are the presidential candidate, a strong one, and hoping to win the elections. This is assuring, because the project you mentioned is very important for all of us. The LAPSAT, the plan, as you said, was a port. Today, our goods in Juba or in South Sudan are very expensive. transport cost is big. Damages are also high. Mombasa Port has become congested. We understand Lama Port is ready. That was one project. Because if we can use it, it will bring prosperity in this country. I hope the road that you people were planning to build has reached Lokoshokyo. We are working hard to see that Lokoshokyo is connected with Juba so that the Lamaset project is realized. Yes, our oil production, the president might talk about it in answer to yours. The plan was we have a pipeline. The plan was also we have rail connecting to Juba and also to the west, in the countries west of us, and we connect to the Atlantic Ocean. I hope this project, since you people there are the initiators, with your elections over, that you people will engage us. يا شعب جنوب السودان، أنا عايز أتكلم شوية بشغل عمله جابان. في جزء منهم نسوه. قبل تخطيط بتاع جوبا هم يا كام بدو. ثانيا شايف المحطة الجديد المينا ده ذاته هم يا كان عملوه. المينا الجديد ما مينا القديم. المويه هسه في الماشي لبيوت ده كمان هم قاموا به. نحن يا ناس جبهان نحن عايزينكم كمان تتموا الماستر بلان بتاع جوبا، لأن جوبا now includes Gumba, Lologo, وديل بقى مدينة. معنا ناس هسه بيقدروا يسكنوا في السايد ده. نحن طبعا مبسوطين جدا من ما نحن أنا جيت 29 دقيقة هنا. كنت بشوف الناس بيعبروا بيقطعوا الكوبري ويرجعوا وكذا. وإن شاء الله الرئيس هيكون the first driver on the across the river. ونحن كمان هنمشي وراه ونقول نحن والله الكوبري ده كويس ونحن جزء منه. شكرا جزيلا.
إذن المشاهدون الكرام، كان هذا النائب الأول لرئيس الجمهورية دكتور رياك مشار تنج، وقد هنأ رئيس الجمهورية وقال إن الجسر هو الأول من نوعه على نهر النيل الذي تم تشييده بمواد ثابتة وغير متحركة. وقال مشار إن السلام الذي تحقق وضع البلاد على مشارف التنمية والتقدم، والآن جسر الحرية شاهد على ذلك، وطريق جوبا وجوبا بور ملكال، وطريق بحر غزال، وطريق جوبا توريد، وكذلك يجري العمل الآن في جسري حبوبة واللوري على الانتهاء. وجدد مشار التزام حكومة الوحدة الوطنية بتنفيذ اتفاقية السلام، وناشد مشار الحكومة اليابانية لإكمال مشروع الطريق وناشد مشار الحكومة الكينية بإكمال مشروع الطريق الذي يربط كينيا وجنوب السودان عبر لوكوتشوكو ثم ندفان. كما ناشد مشار الوكالة اليابانية بإكمال الخطة الاستراتيجية لمدينة جوبا. إذن المشاهدون الكرام، الآن فاصل غنائي للفنان العالمي والوطني الشهير إيمانويل كامبا، وبعد ذلك سيأتي رئيس الجمهورية. إذن كونوا معنا وتابعونا.
نينا كله في مركب واحد، مركب تانينا قلق شوية، لكن طيور فيزيكا غني لنا أغاني تا انتصار يلولي أواو من يلولي بقلبا وايد نقول يا كومريد كبير، نينا بوقي في جنبك نرفع يدك فوق، نينا بروا وراك going to the promised land. Nina buogi fi jambak, narfa yeda fuk. Nina burua warak, going to the promised land. Nina buogi fi jambak, narfa yeda fuk. Nina burua warak, going to the promised land. Nina kulu fi murkab wahid. مركب تانينا قلق شوية، لكن أشجار فيزيكا قسافيق لنا، قسافيق بفرح كبير يلولي أواو من يلولي بقلبا وايد نقول يا كومريد كبير. We stand beside you. We will raise your hands. We will walk behind you, going to the promised land. We will stand beside you. We will raise your hands. We will walk behind you. Oh, Governor. We will stand beside you. We will raise your hands. We will walk behind you, going to the promised land. We will stand beside you. We will raise your hands. We will walk behind you, going to the promised land. Nina kul imurka wahid. Sabaja, shemis tala kalas, mafizoltani bikore. Salamja, shani geni fi beladi, anatani ma bikore. Iyaba made dugle na nugara, iyaba dugle na nugara. Ana binadi nyandeng binadi kerleme, bukule halima na di jungogi, nadi nyawaraga nadi keji. Ashana celebrate. كل يوم عشان نسليبريت كل يوم يوما دايرين مرين سابيت يوما مرين سابيت أنا بنادي لادو بنادي درمومو Binadi maker, binadi unango. Bugulezi, binadi kuku. Ashana celebrate. Kuliyom. Ashana celebrate. Kuliyom. Bineya, marisawi mula kombo. Bineya, saulena umregega. Ana binadi, paranyang binadi ukelo. Abdullah Aziz binadi anyelo. Bugule koreyo binadi ngwangu. Ashana celebrate. Kuliyom.
شكرا لفنان الكبير فنان رفع اسم جنوب السودان لفوق إيمانويل كمبي. شكرا جزيلا. نصفق له. طيب بعد الفاصل القصير ده I want to have I actually have the honor to ask our President Salva Kiir Mayardit, to come and make his statement in this important day in بفتح كوبري الحرية. شكرا سيد الرئيس.
جنوب السودان oye. Achaba Juba Kulu oye. I'm sorry, short but I'm up with Dano in the Nazala who doesn't my short but I. Right Honorable Raila Odinga. Abodu. Even wakati umena sabaza hata mwetu mafi mishla. Lakini abodu. Right Honorable Raila Odinga, High Representative for Infrastructure Development in Africa. Your Excellency, President of Japan International Cooperation Agency, Dr. Riek Machar, First Vice President of the Republic of South Sudan, and responsible for governance. Honorable President Dr. James Waniga,
Vice President Tabandengai, all other Vice Presidents present, Governor of Central Equatoria State, all senior officials at various levels of government, members of diplomatic community accredited to the Republic of South Sudan, members of international organizations, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Because of the time you have spent standing in the hot sun of South Sudan, I will not bog you down also with a long speech. I would like only to appreciate your coming and your endurance of all the heat of Juba. The best thing I have realized here is just when people came to dance with Emmanuel Kembe, I saw my old colleagues, those who rebelled with me in 1983. Garang Dengamor, William Dengarang, and War Mabior. These are the people who shot the first bullet of the revolution 1983. They are still going strong, and I wish them long life. Today is a great day for the city of Juba, the country of South Sudan, and our region. The bridge we are inaugurating today has been a project in the works for a very long time. The need for this bridge was identified in 2011, and it was conceived as a neat link for regional integration that will enhance economic growth. After a lengthy preparatory work, the construction started in June 2013. Despite many setbacks that this project has gone through since its inception, today the Freedom Bridge, a 560 meters long, is a reality. For this, I would like to thank the government and the people of Japan for this important gift to the people of South Sudan. This bridge will stand as a lasting evidence of our true friendship with the Japanese people and their government. Your Excellency, the Ambassador of Japan, your country is one of the few countries that does not attach conditions to its development support. We appreciate this need-based development support. Having said this, I would also like to recognize and thank our partner, Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, for implementing this project with the utmost professionalism. We are grateful to JICA for staying the course on this project despite numerous challenges it has encountered. As a country, we look forward to continuing this partnership with the goal of getting more done. At national level, I would like to thank the Minister of Roads and Bridges and all his officials at national level. I would like to thank the Minister of Roads and Bridges and all his officials for the work they have done to complete this bridge. Equally, I am also grateful to the men and women who worked so hard to build this amazing engineering piece. Your Excellencies, this bridge falls under our priority of reconnecting South Sudan to the region via the road network, with the goal of facilitating trade. It is this desire for infrastructural development that we are pleased to have His Excellency Raila Odinga with us today. He is here at his capacity as the High Representative for Infrastructure Development in Africa. And the advices he gave us, I think we should take them seriously because of peace. When they shook hands with President Uhuru, whatever differences that was between them disappeared, and they are now in peace in Kenya. It is a great honor, Your Excellency, for you to witness the opening of this key bridge that links South Sudan to many countries in the region. In your capacity as a champion for infrastructure in our continent, I would like to say that the opening of Freedom Bridge today is just the beginning, and we need your support for us to accomplish the remaining projects. I mean, it is the beginning of the road of development that will have to move forward. There are people who do not want to see anything good being done in South Sudan. The best thing for them is that they go and hang themselves and leave the South Sudanese people to stay alone. In your capacity as a champion for infrastructure in our continent, I would like to say that the opening of Freedom Bridge today is just the beginning, and we need your support for us to accomplish the remaining projects. There are many more projects in our infrastructural development plan. We need your Excellency's goodwill. And to my people who received this gift today, I would like to call upon you all to work hard to maintain peace in our country. Having peace will allow us to focus on service delivery and development projects. War holds up progress, and the time it took to complete this bridge is a living example of how war delays the development. To the residents of Juba and others who will be using this bridge, I urge you all to show your appreciation to our Japanese friends who gifted us with this structure by taking care of it. Let's all drive safely on it because it is our new lifeline and a gateway to the region. I want the reckless drivers to drive on this bridge with utmost carefulness so that the bridge lasts long. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
إذن المشاهدون الكرام، كان هذه كلمة رئيس الجمهورية سلفا كير ميادت، وقال إن اليوم يوم عظيم لشعب جنوب السودان، حيث جاءت أهمية إنشاء الجسر منذ عام 2007 وبدأت التشييد الفعلي في عام 2013 رغم أنها توقف ل3 مرات. وقال رئيس الجمهورية أن دولتي
Well, that brings us to the end of our program of opening the Freedom Bridge. As you have heard a lot of speeches and messages from the leaders, especially the Japanese ambassador who actually stipulated clearly Japan reason why they are helping South Sudan. They put like 5 reasons, in which some of them saying it is Japanese foreign policy to contribute well to the world peace, and again also realization of human security in East Africa is a gate to the world, and also strengthen relation with South Sudan. So and also you have heard from our President Salva Kiir Mayardit about his happiness regarding the opening of this bridge today. And today he has declared the bridge open and asked the people to immediately use it. And you have also heard him telling us that we need to maintain this bridge since it is our property for the people of South Sudan. Therefore, it is very, very important for all of us to make use of it and let us maintain our bridge. So also, our president promised a lot of activities that will come, and ask the Japanese also to come up with some or to complete other projects that are not yet completed. And you have heard also many people talk about peace, because without peace, this kind of development project will not happen in South Sudan. Therefore, like the African Union special representative for infrastructure, Raila Odinga, is saying we need actually to build that peace, because with peace we can have good infrastructure, and with peace we can connect our region with all the infrastructure that we need. Therefore, he is urging all our leaders, all our South Sudanese, to maintain the peace, and many others who have spoken of good things about the infrastructure, the importance of infrastructure in this country. So, dear viewers of SSBC, we have come to this program. We have come to the end of this program. But before I close, I'm just ending here. But I'm handing over the mic to my colleague Nazario, so that we go back to our main studio. Nazario, you're welcome.
شكرا جزيلا زميلي جيمس وادن. نحن ما زلنا في مكان الاحتفال بافتتاح جسر الحرية. كما استمعتم في خطابات المسؤولين الذين أدلوا بخطاباتهم خلال المناسبة، أكدوا على كثير من الأشياء. أكدوا على أهمية الجسر في توطيد العلاقات بين جنوب السودان واليابان، كما أن للجسر فوائد أخرى في ربط البلاد، ربط جنوب السودان بدول شرق ووسط أفريقيا وبقية الدول الأفريقية. كما أكد المتحدثون خلال المناسبة أهمية المحافظة على الجسر من قبل المواطنين أو مواطني جنوب السودان ومواطني مدينة جوبا على وجه الخصوص، كون أن جسر أو جسر الحرية هي ممتلك عام، فعلى كافة المواطنين المحافظة عليها. المحافظة ليست ستكون فقط للقوات النظامية، بل أيضا ستكون علينا نحن كمواطنين جنوب السودان. كما أكدوا أيضا أن بافتتاح الجسر سيساهم مساهمة كبيرة في دعم عملية الاقتصاد بالبلاد، وأيضا دعم عملية التجارة بين جنوب السودان وبقية الدول الأفريقية، وأيضا مع دولة اليابان اللي هي المانحة أو الداعمة الرئيسي لتشييد جسر الحرية. كانت هذه خلاصة الخطابات التي أدلوا بها المسؤولين خلال المناسبة. فأما الآن نعود إلى استديوهاتنا الرئيسية بنياكورن.
Yes, and once again, that was today's program of the commissioning of Juba Freedom Bridge that has just concluded right there on your screen. And it was a great work from our colleagues in the field who were commentating and giving us the latest update on how the program had transpired. The team that included Waden Ladu commentating in English, and Paul Isaac Batal Shwe in Arabic, assisted by Nazario Marcello, Martin Kose, and also by Mawai Kwal, who are giving us the latest update on the field. We are here back in the studio with my colleague Shima Zakaria and analyzing what has happened. Shima, your take on the program.
شكرا تيك ستيفن. مشاهدين الأفاضل، نقلنا لكم عبر تلفزيون جنوب السودان افتتاح الكوبري الجديد، كوبري الحرية، اللي بتربط جوبا العاصمة بكل الولايات ودول أفريقيا. بنعيد تاني ونذكر المشاهدين إنه كوبري جوبا بدأ العمل فوق، أو كوبري الحرية بدأ العمل فيه في 2015، ويتوقف في 2016 نسبة لأحداث 2016. من الولايات ودول أفريقيا. يبلغ طول جسر الحرية 560 متر، وتكلفة بناء جسر الحرية بلغت 91 مليون دولار. وجسر الحرية هي هدية من الحكومة اليابانية لحكومة جنوب السودان.
Yes, Shima, and just to remind our viewers about the statements that came from the dignitaries and the guests at the event, is that we've had His Excellency Taban Dengai, the Vice President in charge of the infrastructure cluster, urging South Sudanese who will be using the road to be cautious and make sure that they take the infrastructure, the new bridge, as their future project that will help them in moving their activities. He also called on the road authorities to ensure that they put control measures to ensure that the vehicles that will be using the road, especially the trucks, maintain the required weight load so that it doesn't affect the bridge. And also we've heard from the first Vice President, who also spoke at the event, saying that the Freedom Bridge is a milestone structure for South Sudan that will move the country forward. He also called the old bridge, he also mentioned the old bridge which was constructed back in 1970s as a product that emerged out of the Addis Ababa peace agreement, and relating it to now this Freedom Bridge, which also emerged 1 year after the independence of South Sudan, which is also as a result of peace. And also the name of the bridge, which is called Freedom, emphasizes a lot on the need and the importance of freedom, peace and stability to promote development of the country. Also on the same note, the first Vice President said the bridge does not need to be protected as other infrastructures are, as that South Sudanese need to make sure that they take care of their properties to move their country forward. And also from the President who spoke at the event, is that he mentioned a lot of things in his statement. Just few things to mention is that he said the bridge, the Freedom Bridge, has been completed despite a lot of challenges that has been faced throughout the construction process, mentioning that the bridge was initially conceived in 2012 and started in 2013, but because of the unfortunate incident, it has to be suspended and resumed in 2015, and also once again being disrupted by the 2016 conflict and continued in 2017, and now has been officially launched or commissioned by the President today, which is the 19th of May 2022. The President also said the bridge will stand as a symbol for development and prosperity in South Sudan, and will also represent the true friendship between the people and government of Japan and that of South Sudan, and that every time South Sudanese see the bridge, they should identify the importance of freedom between the two countries. The President also mentioned that thanking the Japanese for their activities in the country, saying that Japan is one of the countries that supports infrastructure development in the country without any strings or conditions attached to their activities or projects in the country, unlike others that he also urged them to do the same as the Japanese, to implement projects without strings or any conditions attached to them. And he also talked, the President also talked about the number of projects that are being planned to be implemented in the country, and urge South Sudanese to pursue peace, as peace is the only way that will see such projects being replicated across the country. And it is from this point that we would like to remind you that this has been a live coverage of the commissioning of a Juba Freedom Bridge that has just been concluded at the site in Lologo, and we have been analyzing what has been going on the field, and it is from this point also that we would like to wrap up and wind up this live coverage from the studio. And I have been your host, Tech Stephen Ugut, being joined by my colleague Shima Zakaria in Arabic, analyzing the same, And it is from this point that we wish you a very good time as we conclude this live coverage. Goodbye. Mm.